So don't you feel like with, with the transcripts and, more information with the emails coming out about, Ghislaine Maxwell's sit-down chat with Donald Trump's criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, promoted because he was he lost all the cases he represented him on. I guess that's besides the point. He was willing to look stupid in court every single fucking day. If you're willing to do the humiliation ritual for him day after day after day, you're good. Don't you think that the way that he keeps these pardons up, I mean, they're getting like even more and more egregious all the time, right? And they are. There's more and more egregious all the time. He just like did 77 more after the the bit CZ, after CZ, the Bitcoin guy who's heavily invested in his company, in his Bitcoin company that has made him millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of $1 million just in transaction fees. It's just so fucking criminal. But his pardons have kind of escalated. Like he went to, from the CZ to, he did a couple like that had child crimes in their backgrounds. But then he went to the Hernandez of Honduras. Holy shit. 400 tons. Shit. Fuck. And what? Well, no, but he's tough on drugs. I think that these pardons are getting more and more egregious because he's getting the public used to his audacity, with his willingness to not just put his corruption in the same room so you can maybe get a whiff of it once in a while, but stick it like right in your face, smash it in your face, smash that shit in there. Just stick it up your fucking nose. Like Hernandez said he wanted to do with those 400 tons of shit he brought into the United States. He said, fucking the noses of gringos. And that's the guy Trump pardoned. Ridiculous. Just unbelievable. Like, no fucking way. Emails came out and she was shown as being a fucking liar. When he was going through the prosecution down in Florida, he emailed her and said, the only dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Sherlock Holmes, or for alleged robbery, because he probably knew the person. Maybe he did tell. Magic Mega Mike Grinder Johnson. I don't think he just pulled it straight out of his ass from out of nowhere at all about Felon 47 being a rat. And I think that it's probably deeply mortifying to him to be called that, to be called a snitch, tattletale bitch. Yeah. Little snitch. So I think that probably mortifies him because he's got that gangster thing that he thinks he does. He's getting more and more audacious. And now that we all know that she was lying and she should be expecting any day for them to come rolling up in their fucking, their little van, because I'm sure they give her a private ride, in a van or a private ride on a Learjet in federal prison. I only got that once, and most people never get that. But I'm sure she got it. It matters how much you want to really get rid of that inmate, I think. Now that we still, I think that he's getting more and more audacious because he's going to pardon her. That's what's coming. I think it is, because now that she lied, I mean, she definitely doesn't deserve a fucking pardon. Definitely. And I think it would drive her fucking nuts to have to do like the next what? How much time does she have left? She has a lot. She has a lot of time left to do that in a camp because you can go. No, it's like convenient for her and it's nice for her as far as like Tallahassee. I mean, I've been to just only 2 of the federal prisons, but and I've never been to a camp, but I've been in minimum security. I know how it works, and I know a lot of people escape from there if they have a lot of time to do. That's why they only put people who are at the very end of their sentences, usually in camps, like the last 2 years. If they have a long sentence, the last 2 years, you work your ass off to get to that camp. That's why the girls are so upset. They've worked their asses off to get the fuck where they are. Stay out of trouble, all that shit. They're trying to get home to what they're doing, their people. They don't need some fucking attention whore in the background getting her fucking food delivered like she's some kind of, princess on a pillow or something. Jesus. Just stupid. I would be pissed off too. I would be one of those people that inside I would be causing a ruckus too, and they probably would have transferred me like 2 months ago. But I think that he is going to pardon her because I know, we all know she's got dirt on him. Of course she does. And he transferred her to keep her fucking quiet. But the longer it takes to get these files out, the more of a black eye that whole thing she is to him down there. She is down there just hanging out being a fucking liability, right? A liability with access to pet puppies for some reason. I don't know why, because I know about the dog program. They take their dogs really seriously. I mean, I'm sure she got a little maybe time to pet one, but there's no way they gave her a fucking dog. What the fuck do I know? Because but there have been famous people in prison. I mean, nobody can compare that British socialite whose dad just happened to die of a heart attack as he was standing on that very, very edge of a boat. She couldn't get to him because, well, that's all. I just ask questions because I have a lot of fucking questions. And more time goes on, I have so many questions. I have stacks and stacks of lists and notes. My phone is so full because, God, I have to get rid of shit. He's going to partner. Or he's going to arrange for her to leave one way or another.